Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I'm bringing you guys something brand new to my channel. I'm going to be doing a full rebuild of the Texas Rangers with Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter. I'm going to be doing this franchise until we are finally able to bring a World Series championship to the Texas Rangers organization for the first time in history. Currently ranked 19th in the MLB. We've got some solid pieces. We just quite have not been able to put it together. We got guys like Martin Perez, Adolis Garcia. We got Marcus Semien. We have a lot of really good bullpen pieces, as well as Corey Seager. And then on top of that, we have tons of very good young talent. We got guys like Jonah Heim, Nathaniel Lowe, Ezekiel Duran. We got Josh Young, Josh Smith, Leody Taveras, Andy Ibanez, Bubba Thompson. So tons of very solid young talent currently in the Ranger system. But for this franchise, what we are most interested in is the careers of Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter, seeing how they do and how they progress over the course of their MLB careers. I'm probably going to make some sort of trade to start off the year, but I'll probably wait until just after the All-Star break to do that, just to see how everybody's playing and see if there's a guy that I might be wanting to trade away before the year ends.
Hello, baseball fans, and welcome.
Villarreal is currently hitting 0 for 3, does not have a big league hit, and this would be a huge moment for him to collect his first hit if he could tie up the game. Oh, what a tragic way to end it. We got runners on first and second, and in true Texas Rangers fashion, we went ahead and choked it. I guess that's what being a Ranger is like. Martin Perez pitched a heck of a game, only gave up 1 run and still got the loss. Poor guy. So we're now just after the All-Star break, and our record is 42-55, so we're not doing good. We're 18 and a half games back. So for our first trade with the Rangers franchise, we're going to be doing Matt Moore, Cole Calhoun, and Charlie Culberson, and we are going to be receiving Andrew Vaughn. I think he's going to be a really solid piece for us, and he's a young guy with a lot of potential that we can re-sign, and I think he is going to help us out a lot. So to finish off our first season with the Texas Rangers, we finished 71-91, absolutely horrible, but we are going to be trying to make some big moves this offseason. We have a lot of cap. So we are now getting into the 2023 season with the Texas Rangers. We were actually able to get some crazy good pickups in free agency. Sadly, we weren't able to bring Perez back, but we were able to get both Joe Musgrove and Luis Severino, so that's very exciting. We were able to bring Andrew Vaughn back, and we picked up Andrew Benintendi for pretty cheap, so that's exciting. Probably going to end up putting one of them in right field. We also got Kenley Jansen, so he's going to be huge for our bullpen, and we also got Keona Kella, bringing him back to Texas, so hopefully he's able to help us out as well. So this is what our lineup's looking like. We got some pretty solid pieces, so I'm interested to see if we're able to win some more ball games than we were last year. And then if we go and look at our pitching rotation, this is what we're starting off with. Joe Musgrove as our ace. We got Severino, Dunning, Gray, and then Cole as well. And by the end of this year, I'm hoping that we have Kumar and Jack Leiter in that 4 and 5 spot. And that'll do it. The Rangers get their first win of the 2023 season. So the Oakland Athletics just offered us a really interesting trade halfway through the year. They were offering us Shea Langeliers, their prospect catcher, for Bubba Thompson, one of our prospect center fielders. So I believe I'm going to take this trade because Langeliers just has so much potential for us. So we've just been offered another trade by the Athletics. I thought this one was interesting as well. They're wanting Eli White for Nomar Mazara, which Mazara has been having a pretty solid year, and Eli has been awful. So I'm definitely going to be taking this trade and bringing Nomar Mazara back to the Texas Rangers. Alright, so I was just offered a trade from the Braves just before the trade deadline. They're offering me this center fielder for Wilson Ramos, who I currently don't need because I have more catchers and I know what to do with in my farm system. So I am going to go ahead and accept this trade just because we could eventually have something out of this guy with that A potential. You never know. We're actually having a pretty good run this year, and so I'm going to be trading away John Gray and Brad Miller. John's really been struggling, and Brad, he's been decent, but we are going to be picking up Bo Bichette, and we'll be able to throw him up the middle, put Corey Seager probably over at third base so he can just focus on hitting. And I'm really excited to see how Bo Bichette is able to help us out. He's having a great year, hitting 283 with 339 OBP and 18 bombs. So I'm excited to see his bat in our lineup and see what he can do for us. So we have just gotten to September 1st, 2023. We're only 4 games back right now, and so for our September call-ups, we have officially called up Jack Leiter. Sadly, Kumar Rocker has not been able to develop in AA, so he's still pretty low right now, but Jack Leiter has got himself up to an 80 overall, so he has gotten the call, and he is officially a part of the big league roster. Well, we just finished our 2023 season. We had a great year. We finished 90 and 72, but we were still not able to make it even into the wild card, so that's pretty sad. So starting off the 2024 season, this is the lineup that we're rocking with for the Texas Rangers. We got Bo Bichette, Andrew Vaughn, Corey Seager, Adolis Garcia, Andrew Benintendi, Nathaniel Lowe, Nomar Mazara, Marcus Semien, and Jonah Heim. So we've got quite the lineup. I'm just hoping that we can put together a year a little bit better than we did last year and actually make at least a wild card. Coming over to our pitching rotation for this year, we've got Joe Musgrove, Luis Severino, Dane Dunning, and we have both Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker in the starting rotation to begin this year. So I'm real excited to see how both of their careers turn out. We did get beat on opening day, but I'm still hopeful for the rest of the season. So we're now just past the All-Star break. We're kind of getting flashbacks of last year because we were 51 and 45 and we're 7 games back in the AL West. So I'm hoping that we're able to bring it back and actually at least make the wild card. And also to give an update on Jack and Kumar, Jack's been having a pretty decent first year. He's got 122 strikeouts, 53 walks, and a 3.82 ERA. Sadly, Kumar has not had as good of a year, 94 Ks, 42 walks, and a 4.15 ERA. So we'll see how they both do in the second half. Alright, so we're now at the trade deadline. Kenley Jansen has really been starting to struggle for us, so we are going to be making this trade right here. A couple prospects in Kenley Jansen for Jorge Lopez. He has been having himself a great year, so he is going to become our new closing pitcher. So there it is. We've just finished off the 2024 season, 98 and 64, good enough to win our division. We are now going to be taking on the Guardians in the division series. Before we make our playoff run, let's go check out how these players did. Corey Seager hit 266 with a 347 OBP, 19 bombs, pretty decent year. Luis Severino had an incredible year, 18 and 6, 194 strikeouts, 63 walks, 2.68 ERA. Bo Bichette, he had an average year, 255, 323 OBP, but he did have those 30 bombs. Joe Musgrove also had an incredible year. Andrew Vaughn, he was solid. Jorge Lopez was incredible. Very glad that we picked him up. Adolis Garcia, he was decent. Langoliers was okay, but he's still young. He's going to continue to produce. Benintendi was incredible. Jack Leiter, he had an okay year. He had over 200 strikeouts, though, so that was huge. Nathaniel Lowe hitting 283 with those 23 home runs. Marcus Semien struggled for us again. So did Brock Burke and Dane Dunning. And Jonah Heim currently has a torn calf, which sucks. Kumar Rocker also struggled, which is a little bit sucky, but hopefully they can help us out while we make our playoff run. We also earned some rewards. Jorge Lopez got Delivery Man of the Year reward, and then AL Rookie of the Year was received by Jack Leiter. So getting into the very first playoff game for the Texas Rangers, this is the lineup that we're rocking with. Real excited to get into this. Incredible year from him, 18 and 6, 2.68 ERA. I'm excited to see what kind of performance he can put together in this first postseason game. And the first pitch of the playoffs will be called a strike. Looks like that will do it, and we lose the first game of the ALDS 9-6. That is disappointing. In the second game of the ALDS, we are able to take the win. It was a very close one, 2-1 ball game, but Joe Musgrove was able to get the win for us. Andrew Benintendi absolutely went off 3 for 4 with a double, a bomb, 2 runs, and an RBI. So real excited about that one. The series is now tied up 1-1. Bromance right there. So here we are getting into the third game of the ALDS. This time we are playing it in Cleveland, but we are still hoping to take a dub. Hopefully we don't even have to go back home and we can just win it while we're here in Cleveland and don't even have to worry about a Game 5. So we're now down to the final out right here. We are up by 2 in the bottom of the 9th with Josh Naylor up to bat. Hopefully we can just finish it out and we don't have anything crazy happen. Spores just gave up a 3-run bomb.
Bounce to the left side.
Is that it? Oh, Bo with the incredible hands. And there you have it. We have taken this game, and we are now up on the series 2-1, and I am praying that we can take the series tomorrow and not even have to worry about going back to Texas. Great win from the boys. Jack Leiter just had an incredible outing. 8 innings, only 2 earned runs, and the Rangers put up a ton of runs early in the game as well. It's not looking hot. Oh, no. We just got absolutely smothered. I gave Kumar Rocker the nod in this game, and he just got crushed. At least we get to go back home to Texas for Game 5, and we were going to be able to pitch Joe Musgrove as well. And here we are in Game 5 of the ALDS. We are back home in Texas, ready to take this series and finish it off. We have taken way too long, and we are just messing around with the Guardians right now. We need to just take this win and go on to the ALCS. We got Joe Musgrove on the bump in his last outing. He was absolutely incredible, so we're hoping to get something like that out of him again. And here we are in the top of the ninth, 2-1 ball game. We got Jorge Lopez in to try and close it out. Can we get ourselves to the ALCS for the first time in so long? And that'll do it. The Texas Rangers are officially moving on to the ALCS. We have defeated the Guardians. I am not 100% sure who we are playing, but I am so excited. Even though it's not real, it feels so good as a Rangers fan to finally see us moving on to the ALCS. Look at those boys celebrate. So we have now officially taken down the Cleveland Guardians, and we will be facing the Tampa Bay Rays in the ALCS. So we do have a couple guys that are struggling a little bit in the playoffs right now, so we are going to be shifting around the lineup. Bo Bichette's going to be dropped. He's only hitting .048, so he is really struggling. And then I don't think I mentioned before that Shea Langeliers, he got a great boost in his overall over the course of this year, and so he is now going to be our starting catcher. Jonah Heim, he's recovered from his injury, so he is going to be our backup now. What an at-bat out of Shea Langeliers. Goodness gracious. We now have Ezekiel Duran stepping up to the plate, currently 1 for 3. He has got the bases loaded. We're only down by 5, so if he were to put together a grand slam, we would be right back in this ballgame. And he takes a fastball right down the middle. The 0-2 pitch to Duran, and he is going to strike out. That will be the end of the first ball game, so we drop it 6-1. We are now going down 0-1 in the ALCS. For the second game of the ALCS, we are going to be giving the nod to Jack Leiter. Hopefully he can get us through this and we have a little bit better of a game than we did in the first game. Corey Seager coming up in the top of the 6th inning. Runners on first and second. This would be a huge at-bat, and he gets a base hit. Is he going to score from second? They're going to send him, and he will be there for sure. The Texas Rangers have officially taken the lead in the top of the 6th inning. It is now 2-1. Very scary situation right here. Runners on second and third in the bottom of the 7th. 1-1 count and 1 out. Is Kella going to be able to get out of this? That was pooped on. Oh no. That is incredibly disappointing. We lose the second game 2-4. So for game 3, we're headed back to Texas. We've switched around the lineup a bit again. Bo Bichette, super bad in these playoffs, so we've dropped him a little bit more in the lineup. But we're hoping that we can take this game. It would be great if we can leave Texas up 3-2 in this series. Well, as you guys can see, we are down 4-0 in the bottom of the 9th inning, down to our last out with Nomar Mazara hitting. It's not looking too hot for us. If we lose this, we are going to be down 3-0 in the ALCS. We got Dane Dunning on the bump today. It'd be a huge win if we can get this. The 0-2 pitch to Bo Bichette, and he is going to strike out on a fastball right down the middle. The amount of base runners that we have left on base in the ALCS is mind-blowing. The 1-1 pitch, and that is going to be a ground ball to third base. Corey Seager throws it across, and we are going to win our first game of the ALCS 2-1. It is now a 3-1 series. Well, everybody, as you can see, we are down 10-2. It's the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs. We currently have Nathaniel Lowe up, but I believe this is going to be the end of our 2024 season. That's so sad. Despite everything, we had a heck of a year. It's only 2024, and we were able to make it all the way to the ALCS. Next year, it would be huge if we are able to finally make it to the World Series. And with that flyout, that will do it. Our season for 2024 is officially over. Very disappointing way to end it. We legit only had 3 less hits than they did, and we just got absolutely crushed. Our pitching staff did horrible. Everybody fell apart. So, terrible way to end the season, but I'm ready to bounce back for next year. So before we move on to the next season, let's see how everybody did for us in the playoffs real quick. Corey Seager only hit 176. Luis Severino, he struggled. Bo Bichette only hit a .05. Joe Musgrove, he had a great playoff for us, as well as Andrew Vaughn. Jorge Lopez was just stellar. Adolis Garcia was decent. Langolier, he had a lot of incredible ABs, so I'm interested to see how he's going to progress over the next few years. Andrew Benintendi was great. Jack Leiter was just lights out for us. Joe Barlow was good. Marcus Simeon, he was pretty solid. Brock Burke really struggled. Dane Dunning, he really struggled. Jonah Hyman, his couple at bats was on fire. Kayla, he was absolutely terrible. Nomar Mazara wasn't that great. Kumar Rocker, he completely fell apart. At least now we know what we need to improve on. Definitely going to have to try and bolster our bullpen a little bit in the free agency. So we have officially come to the end of our first contract, and of course I am going to be re-signing with the Rangers. But that does mean that this video is becoming very long, so I'm going to have to wrap it up right here. Make sure you guys stay tuned for part 2 of this. I am going to be continuing to play with the Rangers franchise until we win a World Series, so make sure you guys are on the lookout for that next video. Till next time, peace.